All right. Now it's obvious. Here's the real reason why Huawei is banned.
Want daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck?
Of course you do.
Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, of course, show that gives you all latest tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. Happy motherfucking Saturday. How are you? Real quick, do me a favor. Go ahead and put on your tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen, if we could. It's gonna get a little Alex Jonesy up in here. All right, so first up, story numero uno. This is the Alex Jonesy part. Let's talk about this whole Huawei thing. Real quick, here's just an updated list of all the things that have banned Huawei. As you know, it pretty much all started from the US putting Huawei on a blacklist that made it very, very difficult, nearly impossible for US companies to go ahead and work with Huawei. So Google cut ties with them, meaning no future Android updates. Then Qualcomm, Intel, Broadcom cut ties. Then, even worse, chip designer ARM cut ties with Huawei, effectively making it almost impossible for Huawei themselves to use their own processors in their devices. Microsoft even went ahead and removed Huawei laptops from their stores. And now Huawei is even banned from using SD cards pretty much, because now they've been removed as a member from the SD Association, because that's the group responsible for standardizing SD cards and micro SD cards. So real quick, we'll just clean the whole screen right now and just make it real simple for you. In short, they're fucked. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know that I said there's two issues that are being sort of blended here. When we first reported on the story, I told you that, of course, the US has been claiming for a while now that the Chinese government is using Huawei to spy on us here in the US, like using Huawei equipment to spy on us here, and that's why they're being banned and blacklisted and all that other stuff. But also, we have a massive trade war going on right now between the US and China, and this is getting very, very political very, very fast. And I was suspicious of that, and it seemed more like a political issue than a security risk to me. So listen, I'm sorry about the whole politics thing. I hate talking politics on this channel, but that's where we're at. And I'm gonna need to talk about this so you can actually like critically think about this. We're about to show Trump on the show. I know. It doesn't matter if you love Trump or you hate Trump. I'm staying in the middle here. I just want to give you a clip. And we'll take it from there. So a couple days ago, in front of the press, obviously questions were being asked of President Donald Trump. And when it comes to Huawei, he said this.
Huawei is something that's very dangerous. You look at what they've done from a security standpoint, from a military standpoint, it's very dangerous. So it's possible that Huawei even would be included in some kind of a trade deal. If we made a deal, I could imagine Huawei being possibly included in some form of or some part of a trade deal.
There you go. That's it. As far as I'm concerned, that is all we need to know. That says it all. So at the beginning, he said that Huawei is very dangerous, right? But this is the part that I want you to pay attention to. Listen again.
It's possible that Huawei even would be included in some kind of a trade deal. If we made a deal, I could imagine Huawei being possibly included in some form of or some part of a trade deal.
It's possible that Huawei would even be included in some sort of a trade deal? There it is. That's it. That tells us all that we need to know. All of this stuff happening right now, the ban, Huawei's not banned right now because they are a security risk. This is a negotiation tactic. So whether they are a security risk or not, this is obviously part of the trade war. This is the US using Huawei as leverage to get a deal done, to make this trade deal happen. Whether you think this is good negotiation or bad negotiation, that's irrelevant here. What we're looking at here, this to me, in my opinion, this is it. This has everything to do with just the politics of the situation and not the actual security risk. If I was wrong and it wasn't a negotiation move by the US, then it wouldn't quote unquote be possible Huawei would be included in some kind of a trade deal. They're either a security risk or they are not. What we're getting here is the United States being like, the Chinese government is using Huawei to spy on us, banned, blacklisted. But then also the United States, we could could let them spy on us if we come to a good deal, if they act nicer. Listen, I'm starting to kind of feel bad for Huawei here because we, the public, we don't have the answers, right? So the US is claiming that they are a security risk, like a major security risk, and that's why they're being banned. The Chinese government is using companies like Huawei to spy on us here, on our networks and all that other stuff, and that's fine. I just want to know more information, and some of it is probably classified. I get that. But when you're taking this stuff away from consumers, that's when we start to deserve some sort of answers. I want to make clear again for the second time on this show, because I've mentioned this before, there is like zero proof that Huawei is spying. There is zero proof. We have been given zero evidence about this. And if they're going to start taking away from us, I think we deserve some answers as to why. Not just, oh, they're spying, security risk, because it's starting to look like it's not so much about that security risk, is it? Oh, Huawei. You poor fella. For the watch.
For the watch. For the watch. For the watch. For the watch. For the watch.
All right, next up, let's talk about another sad thing. The Galaxy Fold. So yesterday, Best Buy decided to go ahead and cancel all pre-orders that they had for the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Now, to be fair, this doesn't shock me, like, it makes sense. And in Best Buy's announcement, they went on about putting the customer first, and yeah, I get that. They don't want to be involved in all the drama. Samsung hasn't given us a release date yet. They've just been like, we fixed it. It's coming. So it makes sense that for Best Buy, they just wanted to fucking pull the pre-orders and be like, okay, all right, we'll just, all your pre-orders, we're going to cancel them. If you really want it, you can get it whenever they do it, whenever they release it. This makes even more sense for Best Buy to do when you keep in mind the FTC regulations. Those selling regulations state that a company is required to ship their devices within the time that it originally stated, or if it didn't give a time, then within 30 days. And if the company can't meet that date, if they can't ship by that deadline, well, then they need to get a customer's consent to delay or cancel the pre-orders. And when you consider that, that would mean that, well, for Samsung right now, they would need to ship the device or get that consent to delay by May 31st, and we're getting pretty freaking close to that. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. At this point, this is less about Samsung selling this device and more about just saving their reputation. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point that the hype for this device has died down. Like, that's obvious, especially here in the tech community. I feel like they just missed it by delaying this. Like, they blue ballsed us, and now we just don't want it. We're just not interested. So it's less about selling the device and more about just saving the reputation so we can trust them the next time they claim to have some sort of crazy innovation or be the first in the space about something. If we're going to trust them, they need to deliver on this device. And they've already, we can pretty much guarantee they've already lost a ton of money with this. They've had to re-engineer it. That excludes the like 8 years of work, 9 years of work that they put into this device already. If they put in 8 years, maybe it should have been 9 years. Just saying. Sammy, you gotta release this device, even if no one buys it. Okay, so last up for today, we haven't talked about T-Mobile for a bit in this show, so let's throw them in there right at the very end. All right, so T-Mobile's making some changes to their unlimited plans, changing the names to Magenta and Magenta Plus, obviously straying away from the current branding of T-Mobile One. Now, they're not just changing the names and being like, new look, same great taste. They're changing the taste too. So with the base Magenta plan, that now includes 3 gigabytes of LTE hotspot usage, whereas previously the same plan when it was T-Mobile One was limited to 3G speeds. But also, and probably more notably for most of you, T-Mobile is downgrading their whole Netflix on Us promotion. As you know, Netflix has been changing and hiking up their prices a bit, and that has started to impact T-Mobile and how they are able to actually give you Netflix on them. So on the regular Magenta plan with T-Mobile, it's being downgraded to the regular Netflix basic subscription, which is limited to just standard definition quality. Absolutely no HD streaming. None. Which, I mean, okay, yeah, that sucks. I tried to pretend that it didn't suck. It sucks. That also limits you to watching only on one single device at a time. So sorry, family plans. Now, if you're a customer that is on T-Mobile One right now, then you can choose to keep your standard Netflix plan and just pay an extra $2 every month. That'll start in July. Now, if you want to try to just skirt past that price increase, you can just cancel. You can just cancel Netflix on Us, or you could switch over to that newly named Magenta, and that costs the same price. This goes along with T-Mobile's promise that they've been making for years, saying that they will never force you off of a plan unless you make the change yourself. And you know what? I can respect the fuck out of that. Now, if you choose to go with Magenta Plus, that will keep you on the standard Netflix tier and includes HD video streaming, 20 gigabytes of LTE hotspot, faster data speeds, and free go-go in-flight Wi-Fi. And okay, I think that's it. That's all about that. That's all I had to say. That's it. That's all. Have you ever had dreams about slaying massive dragons? No? Just me? Well, now it doesn't have to be just me. Introducing Raid: Shadow Legends, one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019. Raid has just been released and it's going to change everything you thought you knew about mobile gaming. Raid: Shadow Legends is free to play on both iOS and Android, and let's be honest, look at this game. Do you see that? That's insane. We are in the future. You can compare this game to something you would usually see on a console or PC. It's crazy. With hundreds of champions to collect and immersive storyline to experience all on your mobile device, Raid: Shadow Legends is shattering the bar for mobile gaming. And here's the best part. Raid's special launch tournament is happening right now, and it's getting real big real fast. So right now, head down to the description of this video and download Raid only through our special link to get 50,000 silver immediately. You'll also be automatically entered into their special launch tournament where you can compete with other players for crazy in-game prizes and physical prize packs. Like things, physical prizes that you can touch. Head down to the description below right now to get started. And of course, a huge thanks to Raid: Shadow Legends for supporting our community. And that's the show. Hopefully you liked it, you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. If you're new here, subscribe, and I will see you guys sometime.